Bringing you more history, mystery, action, adventure that you can shake your joystick at. So sit back, relax, turn the volume up, and tune out as you join another arcade once again. Get those quarters ready, and we're just here we go.
Hey guys, it's another Arcader here, and I am here with a two reason video. First of all, this video is going to focus a little bit about the EVERCADE. If you haven't heard of the EVERCADE, well, you're in for a little bit of a treat. For those people that really got on very early at the beginning, they've got some really classic games like Pac-Man for NES. There's an NES collection. You can get the Atari Super Pocket available on the Atari website, which includes most of their games that they have on their older cartridges, which are now considered legacy. Those are kind of going on eBay for, I want to say, $60, maybe even $120 a pop. And this is like Atari Arcade 1, Atari Arcade... Atari 2600 cartridge number 1 and cartridge number 2, links, that kind of stuff. Basically, there's 50 games on here, and most of those games are included on the Super Pocket. Most, not all of them. So, and this is a Super Pocket official carrying case. I believe this is for the Taito one. No, for the Capcom one. The blue and gold. The Taito one is black and mint green, and this is the Atari one. They also had till recently, I want to say, I discovered they actually had, like literally, they had the special edition wood grain one on their Atari website. I just found it, and I was going to get it, but somebody nabbed it before me. Oh well. Anyways, the really nice thing about EVERCADE is it's kind of like breaking the mold right now. They're working with a lot of companies right now, and they're producing cartridges. So we have here the Legacy of Kain. So this includes the original Legacy of Kain game, which last I checked on Steam is not available, but it's available on GOG. And you can get the second game, Soul Reaver number 1, and Soul Reaver number 1 and number 2 got remastered recently, as well as Legacy of Kain Defiance, last I checked. The reason why this is a really awesome system is you get yourself a nice little box, you get yourself a cartridge, you get yourself a little artwork book, you know, that kind of stuff. The pocket, like, literally goes in your pocket. So I've got the Atari cartridge, arcade cartridge 2. For those people that are just joining in, they really got some really nice stuff, including the Duke Nukem Collection 1. This is Collection 2. Collection 2 is nice because besides Land of the Babes, they've got Duke Nukem Advance and Time to Kill. So they do have some of the 3D ones. The ones that were console only, number 1 actually has like 1 and 2 remastered for the PC, using a special engine, has not been released for the PC, not been re-released for the PC, kind of disappointed at that, and then the PlayStation version of 3D. The second reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk a little bit about kind of a callback to our dark times, the video game dark ages. So I was just thinking about it recently. You know, Activision was actually one of the companies that actually created games for the 2600, actually came out of the ashes of the video game crash, along with Atari, in some shape or form. And along the way, if you take a look at their previous collections, especially with these 2600 collections, they have some other games that are thrown in there a little bit weird. Demon Attack is actually released by iMagic, and this is not the only iMagic game that Activision actually took. iMagic, last I checked and talked to people about it, iMagic is kind of in flux. So, so they've got Demon Attack. I think you guys seen me play Demon Attack a little bit. And I'm playing the VSR. So this is the controller for the VSR. This is the home console version. So, and yes, there is an option for scan lines as well too. I'm just going to turn up the volume a little bit here. But if you press the center button here and you go to display settings, you can actually turn on scan lines. Well, I'm using a scan line generator, so that just overwrites that. I don't need to have it, because otherwise it looks like this. And it's like, I mean, that's not bad, but it looks kind of horrible to me, don't you think? So let's take that off, because I don't need it, We could do the original ratio. No, let's do pixel perfect. I like pixel perfect. So, and it says iMagic up above. So, I've actually got the iMagic game for this one. iMagic also made other stuff as well too, such as Subnautica, Atlantis as well, and I believe Atlantis is part of the Activision collection, at least the one that I have for Windows. Supposedly they're going to be doing 3 collections total for EVERCADE, and that's going to include Atlantis as well. So that's nice, don't you think? And this is part of its own genre known as the sometimes that happens. Whoa! That's not fair! Whoa! Okay. Maybe I had to shoot them or something like that. Maybe that was on this level. And what happened there? I always just assumed that was a glitch, but it didn't kill me, didn't game over me, so I gained an extra life. Come on, there we go. Extra life. Come on. There's another game that's very similar in this same genre, Phoenix. So it's a shooter, but it's like these little birds that you shoot and stuff like that. So, and these are supposedly supposed to be demons, and you're supposed to shoot them. And the only ones that shoot are at the bottom. You gotta watch it. Bob and weave, bob and weave. That's the last one. Now they're separating. Grab. So Activision kind of left the Atari 2600 scene with some, I don't know what that song is. Ow! That's not fair. It's taking too long. Just taking too long, I guess. They left the 2600 with a whole bunch of games that they acquired, I guess, from these companies. There we go. It's not a bad game, honestly. And I remember in the Activision Action Pack, they had there's a little bit of background music there for this stuff. I played Crackpots before. It's an interesting game. And they left with games like Yar's Revenge and Breakout and Asteroid. So for at some point, Activision actually had access to Atari games, like games that Atari made at some point. So also in brief, on my kind of mentioned this as well too. You know, we talked a little bit about how Nintendo kind of made it through the video game dark ages, and that's true. They did. But also Atari did too, but they separated into different companies. So the Atari Systems people... There we go. The Atari Systems people made it through, and then there's the arcade people. Nice. No, I missed that one. Ah! Die, spider. Ah, too late. So, there was games like Stun Racer and Marble Madness and Paperboy, the arcade versions, sometimes the Nintendo versions as well too. Atari was also responsible for bringing Tetris to the arcades as well. So there's like 3 different Tetris versions, one from Nintendo, one from and to go beyond that about the Tetris thing, I believe there was a documentary video game with all the Tetris stuff about how the guy who created Tetris at some point lost control of it because of how things were back with the video game age. Missed. These are the... Try to anticipate where they're going to go, but no. Oh, there we go. Almost too many. So the spiders at the bottom, that's how many oopsies you can have. There we go. There we go. That was very nice of the spiders. Very considerate of them to be predictable. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get 3 more oopsies, 2 more oopsies. There we go. Thank goodness. Black spiders. Easy. Easy. So like Marble Madness, there was like 3 different versions of Tetris on the NES or something like that. One of them was created by Atari because they did the Atari. They did the Atari arcade game. They did the Tetris arcade game, and then there's one by Nintendo. They were going by a different name back then. Atari was also responsible for one way that Nintendo was able to ensure quality was they had this proprietary part that had to be in all the cartridges. The cartridges wouldn't work unless Nintendo took a look at it, and Nintendo official seal of quality stuff, you know. I think we talked about that at some point too. So they were trying to have some sort of control over what was going on in their systems. And Atari kind of found a way to circumvent that. And I'm sure they shared it with other companies as well too. That's why their 10-game label has a little bit of a different look than the standard NES shells and that kind of stuff. It's a little harder. Come on. So, I just thought that was interesting that, you know, on their way out, Activision kind of took some games that, you know, these other companies, they were kind of in flux or whatever it is, and they weren't going to be mixing them anytime soon. They weren't going to make any profits from them. Last I checked, somebody told me iMagic is still in flux. It's, you know... And there's actually a lot of great iMagic games. I do like iMagic games, and there's some that are related to... you guys are going to be difficult, aren't you? I played this one on the Activision Action Pack, and I believe number 3 is going to have my favorite game. I'm looking forward to that one. Cosmic Commuter. I actually like that one quite a bit. It kind of combines 2 different games. I'm just gonna fucking suck at this one. Oh no, my language. I gotta say, honestly, the controller is very tight for the EVERCADE. Very responsive. It's not a joystick, but, it's going to be very easy for somebody to be able to pick up and play. The portable one, pocket one, seems kind of a little bit awkward. It depends on the game that you're playing. So if you need to have a PlayStation game that uses an L button or an R button, it's going to have some difficulties with it. So I got this so that I can have a more PlayStation type feel for those PlayStation games. So Enduro is another one that I used to play. I believe I only had Activision Action Pack number 2, so they didn't have Private Eye on that. That one was number 3. So, and this is a classic. I believe Pitfall 2 is coming out in the next one, and I'm going to be getting that one, I believe, in at the end of the month. So let's play this one. Here we go. Wahoo! Now, I had my friend play this one the other day over at my house, and he made this look easy. And this is always the most difficult. Gotta stand on their heads. Uh-oh. Like I said, he made it look easy. Ah! And then they open up their mouths and you're dead. Precision jumping. Ah! Like I said, he made it look easy. Just do it another go. Uh-oh. I fell down. Woo! Now, just because you know the secret of the crocodiles doesn't mean you can actually get it done. Uh-oh. Tried to readjust myself, now I gotta start all over. That's not fair. Ah! Okay. I gotta practice more at that one. So I thought it was kind of interesting how, and this is a really great game. This is a kind of like a space combat simulator. I played tennis before as well too. That one's okay. This is pretty simple. Basically, you just move your player. That's all you really got to do. It's like Pong, pretty much. Move your player there, and you got to move quicker. There you go. Now we're bouncing. Now we're playing with power, pixel power. I don't think I've ever beaten a computer. Ha 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 ha! How come I didn't get a point? That's no fair. Stupid thing. Okay, well, at least I'm doing better now. He's just going wild and crazy on me. Okay, apparently I don't have to be by the edge there. Okay. Didn't know that. Oh, now he's scoring easy. Oh. Okay. No more. I didn't say that they were all great. I said it was okay. Megalomania. I mean, this is a very nice collection. This one has been out for a couple months. And I hope to have Robot Tank on here as well too. Although I already have a copy of Robot Tank, I've been saving it for a rainy day because one of my players in my game group actually really kicked butt at it. He's got like the highest score I've ever seen, and I want to do like a combat comparison video. I guess when I press this, oh, okay, you can adjust the difficulty with the Atari settings. I did not know that. My Super Pocket, I just never touched the shoulder buttons like ever. So there you go. Oh, you could just hold down the freaking button. Probably cost me energy though, and there goes my ship. It's the Star Trek! There's also another weird shooter that they have where you're like defending your teeth from like a plaque or something. Okay. I'm not good at that one. That's okay. Well, I could at least show you Star Master. I can't guarantee that I can actually, like, you know, beat it. It's still fun. I got a copy of it. Alright. So, here's the map. Oh, I must have reset it. Okay, so here's the map. So you can warp. So I'm going to warp to a location where I'm using my hyperdrive. There we go. Where am I? Oh, there we go. Somebody tried to shoot at me. Alrighty. This is a location with 3. Alright, so it's red, so there's stuff here. Ouch. I think that's damage. Shields. Yep. Okay. I died. Okay. Well, guys, I think that's going to be about it for me. It's nice talking a little bit Atari for you. I know that this is the EVERCADE, but it's still nice to be able to talk Atari with you guys from time to time. Let me guys show you Duke Nukem. I'm going to switch it to the retro mode, just so I can show you guys what it looks like, because remember, I'm using the the M Classic. So this is what it looks like, and when we switch the retro mode, it's probably only going to be a slight difference. Come on, reload. There we go. So it does look a little better, little bit. On games like Pac-Man and that kind of stuff, you can actually see definite difference. Unfortunately, with the 3D games, they're pseudo 3D, not real 3D. So since they're not real 3D, you don't really get much of a boost from them. So they're like PlayStation games or something like that. But still, I thought it was kind of cool. That's an option. See you guys later, okay? Bye-bye. Hey guys, another arcader here, and I am showing off the very Tomb Raider-esque Metroid or Duke game. Playing on the EVERCADE here. Used. Nice.
Looky here.
Combat shotgun. Bootylicious. Ooh. Iron sights.
My home away from home.
Guess you can get on the stage. That's nice. Oh, here's a mirror. Eee! Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, like and subscribe, buy me a coffee. We are going to be playing more EVERCADE in the future, now that I've got something that I can actually record. Before I only had this. Can't really exactly record that. I'd like to be able to get those games on my console, but, you know, it is what it is. So, guys, see you next time. We're going to be playing more EVERCADE in the future. And see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.